It all started the day Clint, Colorado Tom, and Zeke rode into camp. Zeke said, "Boys, this cattle driving ain't making none of us rich. I got planned." Colorado Tom said the wages are growing short for this old saddle tramp. Clint and me wasn't afraid of something new. Zeke said, "Boys, let's rob a train." The desert grows dark and the heat becomes as ice. The mountains fade into the distance just out of reach. The call of the lonesome coyote cuts the night like a knife. Leaving like this is not how I planned, but everyone pays the band. We drove the last of the herd into town and drew our wages. Cut the dust from our throats at the swinging skillet. Zeke laid out the plan that would put us in history's pages. Just one job and we'd be set. Live like kings just across the border. The next morning, Colorado Tom and Zeke took out in the rain. Clint and me headed south to Grapevine Junction to the tracks. White smoke was a-boiling and Zeke and Tom was riding hard to catch that train. We spurred in and took off with a flash as the engine barreled past. Clint plunged from his saddle with me soon to follow. The engineer raised his hands as I grabbed for the brake. I heard a commotion from the back of the train as we slowly round the bend of the hollow. Seems Zeke tossed a loop and caught the hitch of the caboose. Old Zeke forgot that train was chugging and still on the move. Well, it ripped him from the saddle and drug him a far piece. Before Colorado Tom could yell, "You darn fool, turn loose." What happened next really shouldn't have taken me by surprise. Guns drawn, bandana pulled tight and ready to take in the loot. Us four desperados entered the passenger car. It was empty, except for one old skinny fellow yelling, "Lawdy, Lawdy, don't shoot." By this time I was ready to call in the dogs and whiz on the fire. Colorado Tom said, "Boys, you ain't thinking, it's in the mail car." I heard the James gang say that's where they keep the gold. We'll fill our saddlebags with enough we can all retire. We hit the mail car yelling hands in the air, but the clerk was fast asleep. The racket from the debacle hadn't raised him from his slumber. He yawned and opened his eye to the barrel of Zeke's 44. In my best outlaw voice said, "Open the safe or old Zeke's got your number." The clerk spun the combination of safe and flung the door open. We looked inside, turned to clerk and said, "You got to be joking. Not one bag of gold, not a bar of silver, a folding money. Just 2 boiled eggs, ham sandwich and jug of honey. Where's the gold? Ain't there anything of value on the train?" The clerk said, "Sure, we got 30 horses and saddles in the very next car. We picked them up along with 30 Texas Rangers back of yonder piece this morning when it started to rain." Didn't take long to hit the ground running, saddled and kicking up dust, with 30 mounted Texas Rangers right behind us. Didn't take long, they overtook us just before Possum Bluffs. So here I am on that train again in shackles and cuffs. The desert grows dark and the heat becomes as ice. The mountains fade into the distance just out of reach. The call of the lonesome coyote cuts the night like a knife. Leaving like this is not how I planned, but everyone pays the fare.